A Day at Trust Class. Day 6. Forming the Trust. Author, Bard, Justis. Chapter 30, Day 6. Establishing a Common Law Trust for a Private Club. The classroom was filled with excitement and anticipation on Day 6. Today, Miss Hamilton and her students would take everything they had learned and apply it by forming their own common law trust. The purpose? To create a private membership club for students who wanted to practice and benefit from the principles of trust law. Miss Hamilton opened the class. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to create a real functioning common law trust. This trust will serve as a private membership club similar to the Elks Lodge, but specifically for those of you who wish to join and benefit from it. The students leaned forward eagerly, notebooks and pens ready. This trust will allow us to put all the concepts we've discussed into action, Miss Hamilton continued. I'll guide you through each step, but ultimately you'll decide on the trust's terms, purpose, and structure. Are you ready? A chorus of enthusiastic "Yes" filled the room. Choosing the purpose and name of the trust. Miss Hamilton started with the basics. The first thing we need is a purpose for our trust, she said. What do we want this club to accomplish? Think about how the Elks Lodge or other private clubs serve their members. Tom raised his hand. Maybe it could be a place for us to continue learning about law and trust management. Great idea, Miss Hamilton said. Any other thoughts? Rachel added, we could have some benefits for members, like resources for legal study or even a small fund to help us with school supplies. Miss Hamilton nodded. Perfect. The purpose of this trust, then, will be to provide educational resources, legal knowledge and support for its members. Let's write that down as our primary purpose. She moved to the whiteboard and wrote, Purpose. To establish a private membership club dedicated to providing educational resources, legal knowledge and support for class members who join. Now we need a name for our trust, Miss Hamilton said. Something unique that reflects its purpose. Jamie suggested, how about the Knowledge Society Trust? Everyone seemed to like it, so Miss Hamilton wrote it on the board. Name, the Knowledge Society Trust. Establishing the key roles, settler, trustee, and beneficiaries. Next, we need to establish the roles within the trust, Miss Hamilton continued. These are the settler, trustee, and beneficiaries. She explained each role briefly. Settler, the person or people who create the trust and establish its purpose. Trustee, the individual or individuals responsible for managing the trust in accordance with its terms. Beneficiaries, the people who benefit from the trust. Since we're forming this trust together, we can decide whether the class as a whole will act as the settler or if one of you would like to step into that role. The class agreed to collectively act as the settler. For trustees, Miss Hamilton added, we could have a rotating position where different students manage the trust on a term basis, or we could elect a few trustees for a set period. The students voted to have 3 trustees who would rotate every semester to ensure that everyone had the chance to participate in managing the trust. They elected Tom, Rachel and Jamie as the first trustees. Finally, the beneficiaries of this trust will be all members who join the club, Miss Hamilton said. The trust is only for the benefit of the members who choose to join. She noted on the board, settler, the class collectively trustees. Tom, Rachel and Jamie rotating each semester. Beneficiaries, members of the Knowledge Society Trust. Drafting the Declaration of Trust. Miss Hamilton then introduced the most crucial part, drafting the Declaration of Trust. This document formally creates the trust, outlining its purpose, structure and terms. I'll guide you through creating each section. She wrote on the board the basic structure, name and purpose of the trust, roles and responsibilities, membership and benefits, terms and conditions of the trust, duties of the trustees, amendment and dissolution. Let's start with the first section, Miss Hamilton said. Under name and purpose, we've already chosen our name and purpose, so we can move on to roles and responsibilities. The class discussed the duties and responsibilities of each role. Settler has the authority to establish and amend the terms of the trust by majority vote. Trustees, responsible for managing the trust's assets, fulfilling its purpose, and adhering to the terms of the Declaration of Trust. Beneficiaries will receive the benefits outlined, including access to educational resources, funds, and other support as determined by the trust. Miss Hamilton wrote down the responsibilities under each role, and the students took notes. Setting membership requirements and benefits. Now let's outline membership and benefits, Miss Hamilton said. What should be the requirements for joining the Knowledge Society Trust? Rachel suggested, maybe there could be a small membership fee that goes into the trust fund. Miss Hamilton nodded. That's a good idea. It could help cover expenses or provide a fund for resources. What do you all think? The students agreed, deciding on a modest membership fee of $5. They also discussed potential benefits, educational materials, access to a library of law-related resources, study support, funding to help with school supplies or legal research tools, workshops and guest speakers, opportunities to hear from legal professionals. Miss Hamilton wrote on the board, membership requirements, $5 membership fee, agreement to abide by the club's terms and purpose, benefits, access to educational resources, financial support for supplies and tools, participation in workshops and guest lectures. Establishing terms and trustee duties. Under terms and conditions of the trust, the class agreed that membership is voluntary and members may leave at any time. Funds collected through membership fees will only be used to support the trust's purpose. Any amendment to the trust's terms requires a majority vote from all members. For duties of the trustees, Miss Hamilton explained that the trustees would be responsible for collecting and managing membership fees, approving expenditures to support members' educational needs, maintaining records and reporting to members each semester. Remember, Miss Hamilton advised, the trustees are bound by a fiduciary duty to act in the best interests of the beneficiaries. Creating guidelines for amendment and dissolution. Miss Hamilton moved to the final section, amendment and dissolution. This section allows the members to change the terms or dissolve the trust if needed, she explained. How should we structure this? Tom suggested, maybe any major changes or dissolution should need a unanimous vote from trustees and a majority from members. The class agreed, and Miss Hamilton wrote, amendment requires a majority vote from members and unanimous approval from trustees. Dissolution requires a majority vote from members and unanimous approval from trustees. Remaining assets will be distributed to members or donated to an educational charity. Reviewing and finalizing the Declaration of Trust. Miss Hamilton handed out a finalized version of the Declaration of Trust, the Knowledge Society Trust Declaration of Trust. 1. Name and purpose. The Knowledge Society. Trust is established as a private membership club dedicated to providing educational resources, legal knowledge, and support for its members. 2. Roles and responsibilities. Settler. The class collectively responsible for creating and amending the trust. Trustees. Tom, Rachel, and Jamie, responsible for managing trust assets and adhering to trust terms. Beneficiaries. All members of the Knowledge Society. Trust. 3. Membership requirements and benefits. Requirements. $5 membership fee, agreement to abide by the terms. Benefits. Access to resources, financial support, and participation in events. 4. Terms and conditions. Membership is voluntary. Funds support the trust's purpose, and amendments require majority approval. 5. Duties of the trustees. Collection and management of fees, approving expenditures, record keeping and reporting. 6. Amendment and dissolution. Changes require majority approval, dissolution requires majority approval, and unanimous trustee agreement. Celebrating the formation of the Knowledge Society. Trust. Miss Hamilton looked over the students who were proudly reviewing their newly formed trust document. "Well done, everyone," she said, smiling. "You've created a fully functioning common law trust. This is now a legal entity that exists to serve your needs, support your education, and provide resources for everyone who joins." The students cheered and celebrated their accomplishment, each one taking pride in their contribution. They knew that the Knowledge Society Trust was more than just a class project. It was a unique opportunity to apply the principles of trust law to a real-world situation. As the bell rang, Miss Hamilton closed the day with a reminder. Remember, a trust is only as strong as its members and trustees. By working together, you can ensure that the Knowledge Society Trust thrives and fulfills its purpose. The students left with a deeper understanding of trust law and the satisfaction of having created something meaningful, a bond of trust and cooperation that would serve them well beyond the classroom.
The devil has to play by the rules. You have to make a choice or be used like a tool. The devil has to play by the rules. Your choice in the matter determines wise from fool. The rules of the game are already set forth. And don't you get frustrated and don't you get wroth. And don't let the devil throw you off your course. He's there to be the tempter. Choose Jah at every cost. The Lord is your guide and He is your force when the devil tries to get you in a doubtful discourse. And don't try to be wiser than the only life source. Jah created all things, so the devil's just a horse. The devil has to play by the rules. You have to make a choice or be used like a tool. The devil has to play by the rules. Your choice in the